Thank you for chipping in to another Cyberpunk 2077 lore video. Time to look at the top 10 solos from 2020. Joshua K came from the Night City Underground and into the spotlight. This young solo has made several newsworthy accomplishments. First, the assassination of Peter X, famed corporate raider and founder of Sphere. Not only did Joshua hit the man twice in the face, preventing any attempts at resuscitation, he then leapt out a 12-story window to a waiting Aerodyne and sped into the rising sun. Soon after, Joshua surfaced in Palm Desert as a replacement bodyguard for Slade McCallan. This popular braindance had gone through 3 already this year and tried for a 4th, but Joshua K was a bit too fast for the would-be assailants. After shattering one's leg with a well-placed kick, he then snapped the other's neck with his bare hands. These joy boys should have thought twice before attempting to make a name for themselves. Tviki, this Russian woman, has made herself at home in Night City. She has allegedly served in the Russian VDV, analogous to the America's Airborne Rangers, for 6 years. She then went on a political bender across Europe. She has suspected relationships with terrorist groups ranging from the old IRA to Red Brigade and the 3000. She joined Kid Rock's Carnival of Carnage tour in Prague and never looked back. She has been personally credited with the Raven Microcybernetics bombing in Balsam and the Biotechnica hijacking. She is a staunch anti-biotech terrorist with a touch of class. Susan Forrest, the Executioner, described as one of the toughest solos there is, and she loves her work. She hunts and kills fugitives with a zeal that can only be described as religious. With over 20 confirmed executions, this solo is more than just beauty. Shaitan has a thing for Arasaka. He will take any job he can get away with, but it must be against Arasaka and it must have serious collateral damage possibilities. In the last few years, Shaitan has gone from a good solo with a reasonable reputation to a great solo with a phenomenal success record. Shaitan has made the destruction of all things Arasaka paramount in his mind. He will not use Arasaka products, nor will he work with those who do. He accomplishes whatever mission he's hired for and spends the rest of his time trashing Saburo's stuff. He's even been known to occasionally create or modify jobs just so he can destroy Arasaka property. Why? No one is sure. It has been advanced that Shaitan's mother was once violated by a member of the Arasaka family, possibly even Saburo. He's owned his mind and rebuilt his body for this task only. His type of single-handed crusade would be laughable had he not managed to somehow elude capture and accomplish these objectives for over 3 years. All it took was a phone call from Johnny Silverhand to convince this Borg to join in on the final assault against Arasaka Night City during the 4th Corporate War. Racer Chiba was born in the wilds of East Los Angeles sometime before the collapse. He had a normal childhood, was educated to some degree, and then joined the army. He served in the South American War during the worst of it and went cyber psycho as the war was winding down. He was hospitalized, recovering just in time for the long walk. Instead of making the trek, he joined the Nomads, John Meta, and others in forming Metacorp. Eventually, he became the test pilot for the Jacksuit program. Consequently, he is the world's most experienced ACPA trooper. After the Jacksuit division was sold to Militech, Chiba went freelance. His full cryo custom ACPA is one of the finest designs in the world. Racer Chiba earned his street cred after extracting Mr. David Sato from the Raven Microcybernetics facility at Evergreen, Colorado. After careful satellite reconnaissance, Chiba dropped in at night alone. He subdued several guards, defeated the electronic security system, and abducted not only Sato, but his lover as well. The pickup by Aerodyne Limousine Limited was the perfect conclusion to a perfect job. Jenny Flex, the personal escort of Jesuist rocker and media icon Jack Maximum. For the last 3 years, she has averted 3 assassination attempts, 1 by taking the shots herself, 8 rounds, 1 kidnapping and various harassments, handling security for the Justifiable Homicides Long Walk tour. Before her tenure with Jack was a feather in her cap. The entire band did 16 cities in the US while fleeing several federal investigations and not a single casualty. Her previous work and training are still somewhat of a mystery. Rumors abound that she once either worked under CIA auspices in Europe or she served in the South American War as a sniper. John Jones, Manhunter. He hunts and captures people for a living. His speciality is lost children and cyber psychos, but no one knows how to contact him or where he frequents in his off time. Jones lost his entire family during martial law. He loathes the government, and he helps others whose families are in less dire straits stay together. To date, he has rescued 30 kidnapped or missing children, 6 cyber psychos, and 5 or 6 drug addicts. It is rumored that he has a massive network of people who owe him a great number of favors, who is not trained by any military or corporation, may have been a member of a gang or some criminal organization. But all bets are off. Lance Rock. Rockstar sex toy he is, but Lance is also a damn fine solo. He's worked for everyone who is anyone, has been mentioned in songs, and has a new workwear line from Gibson Battle Gear. It certainly is a long way from the Italian westerns he used to star in. Lance Rock is a nom de guerre. After joining the Marines and serving 2 boring tours on the USS Abraham Lincoln, he was ready for a change. When Hollywood slid into the ocean, it was never able to reclaim its glory as movie capital of the Western world. A young ex-Marine, Lance adopted his stage name and went east to Nashville. He began his career as a solo on the sets of a remake of For a Few Dollars More. A group of nomads, hoping to make a political statement about human rights, attempted to kidnap the entire cast. Lance, with the help of the film's security guards, annihilated the entire group. Afterwards, Lance went to work as a security guard for Penny Prurient. This was also the beginning of his reputation as a womanizer. Not only did she end up getting killed in bed, where he was noticeably absent on that day, she had in an interview earlier proclaimed undying love for him, and in private named him as a beneficiary in her will. After Patty died, Lance became involved in the Chanel and Versace conflict. Julia Fix was one of the hottest models of the decade. So when she signed a lifetime exclusive with Versace, Chanel was massively upset. After failing to establish a new icon for the American market, Chanel decided to do business the old-fashioned way. They attempted an extraction. Not only did Lance Rock successfully extract Julia, he did it by seduction and deceit. He dated her for 2 months before the fall show in Paris. On the evening before the show, the two dined at the still fashionable Harry's bar. After brandy, he shot her bodyguard and was greeted warmly by Chanel representatives. This will almost definitely ruin Lance's career, although he now has a free movie deal with Lucasfilm 54. Haruko Kanoa is skilled and ruthless solo in the true corporate ninja style. Kanoa was described as gorgeous and always wore a black leather bodysuit. She's a cross between a leather fantasy and an SS nightmare. Haruko would be present during the attack on the Arasaka Arcology Night City during the 4th Corporate War. Before going on to the number 1 solo, an honorable mention goes to Dylan, an ex-member of the IRA who does not use cyberware. Maximum Mike praises Dylan for his ability to use stealth, planning, and possessing an uncanny ability to read a combat situation. For example, when Dylan enters a room from a hallway, he will often jam a high-caliber silenced pistol against the outside wall adjacent to the doorknob and fire a couple of times at about 3 feet off the floor. Only afterwards would Dylan enter the room. Dylan was one of Lisa Pondsmith's characters. Unsurprisingly, Morgan Blackhand was rated as the number 1 solo professional in the business by the Solo Fortune Annual 2020 Awards. A war-worn veteran of the Second Central American conflict, Morgan Blackhand, sometimes known as the Hammer, first became a solo by accident, not design. Returning home in 2008 to the ruins of his native Brooklyn, he found himself protecting his next-door neighbor from an abusive and violent ex-husband. The incident ended with Morgan killing the homicidal maniac and earning a local rep on the streets as a protector of the weak. Morgan's good guy image lasted until a dust-down with a marauding booster gang leader, which brought him to the attention of a Militech recruiter. Morgan dealt with the booster with relative ease and thus was made an offer to join Militech. To Morgan's pragmatic mind, working as a corporate solo wasn't much different from being in the army. The guys upstairs told you where to go and who to protect or shoot. By 2013, Blackhand was known throughout the Brotherhood of Solos as a professional, equal, to the best Europe could offer. In time, Blackhand graduated from being a bodyguard and performing extraction work to tactical operations and strategic threat management. Although his abilities in these areas were exceptional, his reputation as a hard-nosed, no-nonsense boss willing to do what is necessary and join his ops in the field earned him an even wider reputation. Morgan's handling of incidents like the attempted kidnapping of former samurai band member Kerry Eurodyne show the touch of a true master. Any solo can kill, but only a master like Blackhand can eliminate a threat and embarrass the group's sponsors. He's honest to a fault and never ever harms women and children, but he will make an exception for female solos. Morgan Blackhand is not alive because he's the best around, rather he's the best because he's alive. Hey Samurai, are you interested in more Cyberpunk 2077 content? Then be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for chipping in.
Riding high, my sluts are shy.